John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing a really cool brand new broadhead called the Trifecta. I've gotten quite a few requests for this and was able to connect with Rob Schneider, the owner of Trifecta and the designer of this broadhead, who also owns Rattler grips, okay, if you're familiar with those grips. But he's come out with this really cool modular design that within the same ferrule, you can use it both as a mechanical, like a hybrid, because it has a little bit of fixed blade and then mechanical blades, or you can shoot it as a true fixed blade. So today I'm going to be testing it in the fixed blade model because that one just looks so wicked. I'm really eager to see how it performs. So for these tests, I'm going to be using all my protocol for 2023. And for a description of that and to understand why I do the tests and how I do the tests and what they mean, please watch the video that I released earlier this year that's just called 2023 Broadhead testing process, okay, or something like that. And if you watch it, it'll really help you. And then I don't have to go through and explain it every time I do a video. You'll really be able to keep up, and I can keep it going fast. Okay, so please watch that. Or you can just read about each of the tests and the scores of how every broadhead that I test did in each of the tests in the description right below the video. Okay, and I'm using my Bowtech CP28, set at 72 pounds, using Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shots, and the Bishop Fat Eliminators for the really hard impact stuff. Let's zoom on in here and check out this cool looking Trifecta Fixed Blade. Here's a good look at the head, and man, this is one wicked looking broadhead right here. So much to go through. Okay, I'll try to squeeze it all in. First of all, it's all steel construction. It's all made out of 420 stainless steel. Super short overall profile. The dimensions, you got 1 1/4 inches of cut this way, which is a really nice size cut for a fixed blade. And then you've got this leading blade that's 3/8 of an inch of cut. So the total cut is over 1.6 inches. I like that width right there to that cut. Then the thickness of the blades, this leading blade it's really small, but it's a stout 0.040 inches of thickness, which is, you know, good. It's on the upper end of thicknesses as far as blades are concerned, but this main blade has a thickness of 0.078 inches. Wow, like almost 0.080 inches thick. It's almost twice as thick as this leading blade. It's more than twice as thick as most blades, fixed blade heads on the market. So really impressed with that. Now, it's pretty vented here in the 100 grain model. This is a 100 grain model, but in the future, they're coming out with 125 grain and 150 grain that are gonna be solid. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But with it being this thick, these blades, even though it's vented, I imagine they're gonna be pretty durable. And I imagine that tip, because it's supported so well and it's so small, that's going to be pretty durable too. And then they've got a nice single beveling all the way around on both of the main blades and this front blade. So really easy to sharpen it because they're at a good angle there too, really steep angle. I'd imagine they're going to hold up well and not get much edge chatter because of the incline there to that bevel. So I love the fixed blade, but then what's really cool about it is that you can just use the same ferrule and switch out the blades and put in a mechanical blade like this, or a hybrid broadhead, if you will, because there's a fixed blade in the front and then the mechanical blades in the back. And it either comes in this model, which is 1.87 inches of cutting diameter, or this model that's 1.65 inches of cutting diameter. So you can just switch out the blades with the same steel ferrule based on your setup and based on what you're hunting. If you're going after a smaller animal, then you go, hey, let me bring out the mechanical. If you're going after a bigger animal, maybe you go, let's bring out the fixed blade, or in between, let's go with, you know, the smaller mechanical. Okay, there's all kinds of modularity to it, so I love that. And but today I'm going to be testing this fixed blade. Really eager to see how it performs. 225 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 9.75 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated 8.5 inches. It took no additional force to cut through the wire, which gives it a 10 on a 10-point scale. It penetrated through 61 layers. The head is in perfect condition after 3 shots through the MDF. And after 2 shots through the steel plate, it held up extremely well. There's just the slightest little nick in the blades. And then check out these holes in the steel plate. Man, for a single bevel like this, that's some of the best S-cutting I've ever seen. You can just see the rotation of the blades opening up a really nice wound channel. So here's a good look at the head after going through the MDF 3 times, steel plate 2 times, and then embedding in the concrete. And man, it held together very well. These thick blades did the job. Even with the rotation, they held together. Sometimes with a hard impact in a single bevel rotation, you get a bit of twisting, but these blades are thick enough that that didn't happen. The tip got ever so bit of a little bit of a twist to it from that rotation, but very, very little. And the edges just have normal wear from hitting the concrete, but very impressive durability in the concrete here. Well, what'd you think? Man, this is a winner of a broadhead, okay? There's a lot of broadheads that are kind of in the middle of the pack that you go, yeah, you know, they did pretty good. And every once in a while, there's one that's just kind of, you know, really low. And then every rare once in a while, there's one that really stands out. This one stands out. I really was surprised. I believe it got the highest score of any fixed blade head that I've tested so far. That's all of 2022 and so far into 2023. And I've tested many more broadheads than the videos have been posted for yet. Okay, so I've tested quite a few, and this one got the highest score. It did so well that I reached out to Rob and I said, hey man, could you give me a discount code that I can pass on to my viewers? And he agreed to. So if you use LUSK10, LUSK10, when you make an order, if you're interested in ordering them, then you get 10%. You save 10%. Hey, 10% is 10%. It makes a difference. So these are really worth a look. I mean, they flew incredibly well. I couldn't believe how well they flew. Honestly, they're just so forgiving. They penetrated super deeply, super good rotation. I did a rotation test offline, and it penetrated into the clear ballistics gel 13 inches and rotated 90 degrees. Okay, that's a lot of rotation in gel. In an animal, it's a lot more than in gel because that's pretty restrictive. That little blade in the front held up super well, and it adds a little bit of FOC to your setup there. The super thick blades did well, even sticking in the concrete and blowing out the back, a back chunk of the concrete. Okay, I've never seen that before. So man, I can't wait to use this head on some hogs, and really eager to see the 125 grain version and the 150 grain version, you know, that's solid. When those come out, that'll be extra cool. I look forward to testing those, but fantastic job, Trifecta. Really, this is really a winner, and it's definitely worth a look. So check out the score sheet, see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most, and see if it might be a good fit for you. And stay tuned. In the weeks ahead, I'll be testing it in the mechanical or hybrid model as well.